On Weary Souls Wednesdays, I get a chance to talk a little bit about the topic of my book, which is growing in Christ-like compassion. Now, compassion is such an important characteristic of Christ, because as we know, love is the most important, and the Bible says that without love we are nothing, and we have nothing. But compassion is love in action. And if you think about it, if we are not compassionate people, then we do not look like Christ in our lives, because what Christ had was such compassion for the world, because God himself looked at his world and said, these people need to be saved from sin. They need to be delivered from hell, and they need to be restored with relationship with me. And in order to think that way, he had to have compassion. And we as Christians have to have compassion in order to think about people other than ourselves, and to think about their eternity as well as our own. So compassion is a baseline that we need to have if we want to grow to become more like Christ. And my main concern is that in cultural Christianity and modern day Christianity, a lot of times people just want to do the bare minimum, and they're not really interested in growth. But we really need to be interested in becoming more like Jesus, because that shows that our faith is genuine and that our love for God is real. So in that pursuit of growth, I think the best place to start is with compassion. And my book actually has a little quiz in it that kind of helps us define where we're at. And none of us are perfect. None of us are just like Jesus. We don't have that depth of compassion that he does. But it should be our goal to become more like that. So this book really helps us kind of see where we're at and gives us somewhere to shoot for as we aim to become more like Jesus, and just see what an impact that has in our lives and how God can use us to do mighty things in other people's lives. So if you're interested, I really encourage you to pick up this book. My website seems to be having some difficulties and it's not always up. You're welcome to check to see if it is. That's annajoyware.com. But if that isn't working, I encourage you to go to Amazon. You can search for Weary Souls under the author name Anna Joy Ware, and that should pop up for you there. So I hope you pick it up, I hope you read it, and I hope that it helps transform your life and bring some joy back into it.